So Kane, Cham, and Arch, you guys go this area, and you see what looks like this mechanic shop. There's a bunch of different like little gears and sprockets and springs and everything spread out all over work tables outside. And you see what looks like a sign hanging up in front of the shop that says closed, and the building behind it appears to be closed up. So it's still there, but you don't see anybody manning the shop.
I'm going to knock very, very loudly, and also we established this as canonical in earlier sessions that I'm going to give like the behind the back hand signal for Curtis to check out the building while I do whatever I have to.
Okay, this is correct. So he should know what that what that means as long as he sees it. So are you guys gonna scope out the building while Syra tries to contact the gnome or whoever's inside?
Sure. I'm gonna roll for another search check, see if I'm able to spot any way to get in without any detection.
Okay, roll search check. Nice. Okay. So you basically, in your search check, you see that there are 2 stories to this building. The second story looks like it has a few windows, and one of them is kind of at the back, kind of right-hand corner of the building. You might be able to get up there since it does look like the windows open a little bit.
Alright, dude, do I even need to do a jump check?
No, I'm not going to have you do a jump check because you could just climb it anyway if you wanted to, but I will make you roll a stealth check to sneak in silently.
That's a 27.
Alright, so you rolled a 27, so you're able to get inside the building without any kind of an issue. Kane, are you going to try and sneak around too, or are you just going to scope things out outside with the others?
Yeah, I'll try and sneak around.
Do you want to go where Cham went, or do you want to try and find your own way in?
I'm going to try and find my own way in.
Alright, roll a search check. Oh, that was so close.
That really was.
I saw the 20, and then it just kind of rolled over one more time. So you find what looks like a crawl space that sort of goes underneath the building. So you might be able to crawl in there. However, you also don't know what's in the crawl space, so because it is close to the ground, and animals do tend to hide in those.
Well, I won't know until I find out.
Alright, you're going to crawl your ass in there. You have low light vision, so you'll be able to see. So, Kane, I'm just going to roll to see if you find anything when you go under there that's going to be an issue. We'll take the 3. Okay, so you crawl underneath the building, and you are face to face with what appears to be a rabid wolverine.
Oh, shit.
It does not look very pleased to have you in what you would presume to be its home. So you have options. Do you want to try and do battle with the wolverine underneath the building? Or do you want to back out of the crawl space?
I mean, can I even fight this thing, like, reasonably? Could I shoot it?
Or you're in position where you could shoot it, yes, but you're going to be firing a gun underneath the building. Also, what type of round are you using? You want to do the Magnum round?
The Magnum rounds would probably be the one I would go.
The Magnum round is the auto crit round.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you an attack of opportunity, then you're going to be able to aim at him and fire that. You're probably not going to have to roll that high, to be honest.
Oh, let's go! It's a 19! It's a double crit!
That's a god.
Yeah, that's a crit.
Actually, no. That's a quadruple crit, because your rifle quits with 19 and 20s, I believe.
Oh, yeah, and then I just oh, yeah, you're right.
So multiply the damage by 2, and then multiply it by 2 again. That's 20.
And then it's quad, so it's 80, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 80 damage to the Wolverine.
Die!
Okay, so I need to say what happens here. So, Syra, you are continuing to hammer at that front door as Champ sneaks his way inside the upper level. Now, as this is happening, Kane, you come face to face with this rabid Wolverine, and you just put that rifle right up and blast him point blank range with a Magnum shot. The resulting force of the blast is enough to shoot blood and fur and everything else up through the floorboards of the building, which Cham you're able to see from the inside, as the small gnome man that is inside there, walking his way to the door, gets covered in disgusting filth. He then proceeds to freak out and run to the door, which he plows through. Now, Arch, I'm going to have you roll a strength check to make sure he doesn't bowl you over as he slams his way through the door. All right, I'm going to say that's enough. So you can decide how you want to do this. If you can push him to the ground, you can beat the shit out of him, you can do what you want.
I like the idea of the door bursting like inward, slams face first into the skin that makes up her chest plate. Well, it's a gnome. He'd be at crotch level, wouldn't he?
Okay, so that's basically what happens is he runs out and he smacks his face directly onto your knee. And then he falls over onto the ground and begins grabbing his face and his eyes. He starts like rubbing the leftover Wolverine guts out of his face. Oh God! What happened? Oh God! Please no.
Hello.
Oh God. Hello. Who are you?
I'm your new best friend, I expect.
Well, if you are, can you help me with a problem?
I would love to help you. And she just reaches down the fucking claw hand and lifts him up and puts him on his feet. Just a little brush off maneuver. What can I help you with?
Well, you see, I have a very serious problem. The Black Scales came here a few days ago and demanded all the smiths that were left over in the old fort. Unfortunately, at the time, I was down at the sea gathering seashells because I like to, and you'd better not judge me on that.
Seashells
not.
out by the seashore.
My brother, Happy, was in the shop, and since we're twins, they took him instead of me. Except he's not a smith, which
Is his
means
name,
once
is
they...
his last name Chaos?
No, his last name is Clobberfoot.
Oh, okay. That's more disappointing.
That's what all the women said about Happy. Regardless, the point is that he's not a smith. So as soon as they figure out that he's useless and they grab the wrong gnome, they're probably just going to slit his throat and then come back and get me.
Alright, so are you asking me to retrieve the body?
I'm asking you to retrieve the living body.
I tell you what, you've run into a little bit of an interesting thing here. I happen to be a necromancer. If you just wait for them to kill him, I can bring him back.
I would prefer him not be a zombie, but that's just personal preference.
Damned, I prefer. Thank you. They do have some intelligence. I mean, let's be honest, you're the brains of the operation, aren't you?
You are correct, but I still don't want my brother zombified.
Alright, I'm not going to argue with you. You're too weird. Sure. Do you know where they've taken him?
There was an encampment to the north, I think to the northwest, that was reported a few days before the Black Scales came back. They probably went back there after they took whoever they took. I know they got my brother, and they got 3 others.
That shouldn't be an issue. We could find that. By the way, what was that explosion that just happened?
I don't know, but I'm covered in something that tastes like rodent.
And she just takes a finger, wipes it, and licks it. Yes, tastes like rodent.
You are a disgusting person, but thank you. Cham, what are you rolling for?
See if there's any valuables in here.
You rolled a 15. You're able to determine that a lot of the smithing tools inside are very, very much geared toward engineering, stuff like that. Very specific things that you wouldn't really find outside an engineering shop. There's something you don't have back at the Oasis. All you have is Fernando's gun shop. You notice that all of those tools are relatively valuable, in addition to some of the materials and stuff inside. The only thing is that a lot of the times when it comes to gnome engineers, they don't leave completed projects in the shop for very long because of, the idea of stealing them. But there's a lot of raw components in there that you could use to create something that would be more valuable than what they are separately.
Like what?
11, you discern that there might be enough mechanical parts in there to make some sort of a vehicle.
Do I hear Syra talking to the gnome?
Roll listen check. Kane, would you also like to do that now that you're underneath the place covered in God knows what?
All right. But yeah, I rolled a 21.
Yes, so you will be able to hear them.
Do I see anything other than those?
No, other than that, I mean, it's a shop. That's basically the more expensive stuff that you see in there. You may try to find the gold supply if you want to steal that from them.
Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
All right, roll a search check to look specifically for that. Yes, so you're going to roll a listen check to see if you overheard that. You're currently below the floorboards wiping Wolverine godness off of your face.
What a way to live. Yeah, I didn't hear
No,
anything.
you don't hear anything. So basically your ears just got caked with Wolverine guts and nastiness to the point where you weren't able to hear that. So you're oblivious to anything that was just said. Cham, you're looking specifically for the gold. That's what the 24 is for.
Yep.
So you do notice that it appears there's a small safe in the back corner of the shop.
Luckily, I'm proficient in open locks. Okay. So,
All right, so you're going to go down there and do that. So here's what I'm going to do is, Arch, do you have any more business with him, or are you going to look around or do anything?
I would like to say that at this point, I am 100%. Metagaming-wise, I don't know that he is going to steal shit, but knowing him, he's gonna steal shit. So she is all about the pleasantries and
Okay, so you're going to
discussion.
keep him distracted. All right. I'm going to say that you're going to be able to carry that conversation on for 3 more rolls. So, Cham, you're going to have 3 rolls to open that safe before he disengages.
Oh, that's a 30 because it's a 15.
Yeah.
So that's a 30.
I don't think you need to roll the third one. You use your lock-picking tools, and after a few seconds of jurying with it, you pop it open, and inside you find a sack that's full of a bunch of gold. By the look of it, it looks like at least 100, maybe more.
You want to roll a treasure roll?
I will roll a treasure roll if you want to check that right now.
Yeah, sure.
Ooh, okay, so you got a 14 for the treasure roll, so that means it's going to be a little bit above average. So it looks like you have a bunch of coins in there, but as you sift around, you also see that there's a couple of gems. There's a relatively good-looking diamond that's sitting in the middle.
And I'm going to fuck out of there.
Okay, another stealth roll to leave it as you found it. Okay, that's more than enough. All right, so you close the safe quickly and spin the lock to lock it again as if nothing had happened. And you then proceed to leap up and through the window you originally came out of and exit the building. Kane, do you want to do anything, or do you just want to come out of that hole you're in?
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of the floor.
Okay.
End of the building.
All right, you walk out. Again, you are covered in Wolverine guts and blood.
I think I got a little in my mouth.
So you're going to walk around to the front of the building?
Yep.
Where Syra is?
She's gonna turn to see him. Says, "All right, you don't worry. We'll bring your brother back. No worries. He won't be dead. At least, we'll try. All right." Good. She finger guns, and then walks over to Kermit, and she leans down and sniffs him. You're the reason why the house is full of some kind of vermin.
Listen, it wasn't my fault. Well, it
What?
kind of was, but he was in the way.
Sure, absolutely. Did you happen to find the other one?
There's another
Did
one?
he show up? Yes, you're the other frog.
Oh, I think he's inside.
Still? Oh, that's not good.
Why is it not good exactly?
Well, the gnome's going back inside, I assume, unless he's just standing at
The gnome has gone back inside. However, you haven't heard any commotion.
We should probably go in there.
I'm not exactly partial to it. We both know that he was going to steal something. It's now his responsibility to get out with it. If nothing else, I can break him out of prison.
After a few minutes, you begin hearing a loud yelling coming from inside of the shop as Scrappy screams, "The Black Scale stole all my money!"
Oh, looks like he finished his job. He should be around shortly.
I'm just gonna be on the other side of the street, going, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my rancher." Yeah.
All right, you do your WB frog thing. I think that's enough to get everybody's attention.
She turns. Yes, there he is. All right,
Baby,
let's
my
go.
heart's on fire.
And she walks across the street. All right. So here's the deal. To get his help or to kidnap him or whatever we're intending on doing in the future, he would like us to save his brother, who was kidnapped by Black Scales, he believes. And I'm always down to turn some dragon boys inside out. Shall we attend?
I'm just gonna lean into Siren like, wouldn't it just be better to resurrect them?
Oh, see, yes, that's exactly what I said. And he was like, no, I didn't want him to die. And I was like, well, I can resurrect him, and he'll be just the same, or better, because I'll give him 6 arms. And no, the little fuck doesn't want it. So I guess we have to go and get him as is.
And then I'm gonna pull the sack out of my bag of holding, shake it, and put it back in my bag of holding.
You do that, Arch understands that you stole all of his money.
Yeah,
And so does Kane.
But as soon as I do that, we hear, "The Black Scales stole all my money." I'm gonna run like, "Black Scales where?"
But why are you like this? Let's go. We have to go to the northeast, wherever. Kermit, rein him in! And she just walks away.
So I assume you guys are going to try and travel northeast to try and find this camp.
Yeah,
Sure.
I certainly am.
Okay.
This should be like a couple weeks after the dragon's been born, right?
Yeah, it's been probably a little. Yeah, it's definitely been a couple of weeks because of all the traveling you guys did back and forth.
So yeah,
to Broken Spear.
so the dragon should be a little bigger. Right.
Your dragon?
Mine and Cyrus.
Yeah, they're a little bit bigger. They're not. They grow slow because dragons mature over hundreds of years. basically what happens is that you guys travel to the northeast, so all you guys are going to have to roll a search check to see if you can try and find out where this camp is.
I'm gonna let them look for
Where
it.
are these hot rolls right now? What the fuck?
Jim, you fly on your little purple dragon up in the sky, and as you're looking down over the landscape, you see what looks like an encampment with some smoke coming up from a fire in the center. You see what looks like a convoy. There's some desert lizards, and looks like a wagon, along with several soldiers that are around it that you can see.
What time of day is it? Is it nighttime?
At this point, it is mid-afternoon.
I'm gonna fly to safety, and I'm gonna signal like we should wait to Syra and Kermit. When I wait till the sun sets.
Ira just shrugs at him like, all right. She turns her camel into a couch and just like racks out.
Okay, you do that. So after probably about 3 to 4 hours, the sun sets. So it's dark enough where you could probably approach at this point.
I'm gonna have my dragon go in fast and quiet, like no flapping. She's going to dive, and I'm gonna jump off on top of the onto the carriage.
You can do that, so you're going to have to roll a ride check for the dragon to make sure that you do that correctly, and then you're going to have to roll a stealth check to do it without alerting anybody.
Yep.
Your flight check is good, or your ride check is good enough. I'll say that'll work. Oh, that's still a nat 1. All right, so this is the way this is going to happen, champ. So you're flying with your dragon. Your dragon does a perfect aerial dive down towards the wagon and begins to pull back up. However, your foot unfortunately gets caught on one of her claws as you're kind of going off. So it doesn't, you don't actually get stuck in the air, but it sort of clips you. So you're kind of tumbling end over end, and you bounce off the top of the wagon, and you land down in front where all of the Dragonborn can now see you. I also want you to take 1d10 damage.
Just in the distance are really loud. Ha!
That was 6 damage to Cham. So Cham has, and he is now in a prone position right now, by the way. So the Dragonborn that were around are now able to see and identify him, and they are now moving around to kind of take him prisoner. There are a total of 5 of them. There looks to be 1 officer, 2 hammer guys, and 2 regular sword warriors that are in the encampment, along with the wagon, which appears to have a gnome and 3 humans.
Syra's gonna like scrunch up her nose, and she pats her hand on Kermit's head, casting Cat's Grace, and then just starts walking towards the camp.
So you cast Cat's Grace on Kermit?
Yeah, it's a +4 to his stat, which means a +2.
Cham, I'm going to have you roll that reflex save now.
While he's doing that, can I try and charisma check, like maybe diplomacy, to see if I can get them, like, arrest that man, like he's a fugitive?
Okay, so Cham, I'm going to say that reflex save is good, so you do cast invisibility. As that is happening, Arch comes out of the clearing and in front of all the Dragonborn and points to the area where you just disappeared from, and you proclaim that, yes, that man is a fugitive.
I'm trying to be a bounty hunter right now.
You're trying to convince them that you're a bounty hunter, so I want you to roll, I believe that would be...
Bluff, maybe?
Bluff, yeah, no, bluff. Yeah, you're right. That would be.
I have a better diplomacy skill, but I think to make it accurate... Fuck!
They do not believe you. So they're going to immediately take out their weapons since their primary target is seem to disappear like the wind. Now they're just going to try and beat the shit out of you. So they're going to engage. So this is going to be combat. So Cham, you are the only person currently that is removed from combat. There are also the 5 Dragonborn that are there that are going to engage with Kermit and Syra. So that means Arch and Kane, you guys are both going to have to roll initiative, and I'm going to roll for the other Dragonborn.
Well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Deep Slumber.
Okay, well, each one of these Dragonborn has 2 hit dice apiece, and there's 5 of them, so that would affect all 5.
So I will do that.
I am going to roll for the ones that have a little bit higher constitution, which is the officer, and the 2 sword guys immediately pass out. I'm going to roll for the 2 hammers and the officer because they have a little bit more. One of the hammer guys passes out immediately. The other 2 are drowsy, but they are still awake. So 3 out of the 5 are out.
So when that happens, I'm going to immediately do a sneak attack on the officer.
Okay, that means you'll go into the combat scenario in first place. Yep, so that will hit.
6d6. This will be the sneak attack. And
that's 18 damage.
3d10s.
Yep, it's another 9, so it's 27.
Even with that, I'll also use my, just in case, my dagger.
All right, that's another 9, so that means you're up to 36. So yeah, that officer is dead. So basically what you do is you shoot out your dagger and stab it into the back of his head, which really should have probably killed him in most cases. But you then proceed to follow that up by using the Darksaber to decapitate his corpse so that his body is still standing there, but you then take his head. Yep, so now you have a severed head. That means the only one that's left is the hammer guy. So, but the thing is that Kane, at this point, you have position, so you might be able to shoot him if you wish.
Also, would it be an attack of opportunity because he is drowsy? He's not.
Yeah, it would be. You're right. It would be an attack of opportunity.
All right, do it. Let's load a magnum round and try to shoot him in the head.
That's gonna be extra +2 because of the attack of opportunity.
That was ass.
I'm gonna say that doesn't hit, unfortunately, even though it's an attack of opportunity.
No.
So you shoot, and the round goes near him, but it doesn't actually hit him. So it zings past. I'm going to give him his final reactionary turn, but since Arch is the only person that's close to him, that's who he's going to swing at. So he gets a +5 to his attack bonus. That will not hit. So that's going to miss. So he just kind of like lazily swings with the hammer and misses you. He's still pretty drowsy from the sleep thing that Cham did to him, so he's not in the best of shape. So you can, at this point, Arch, you can do what you want to him if you want to, like, brutally murder him.
Syra doesn't get her hands dirty unless she has to.
Then it's you, yeah. We'll go back to you. Well, both of those will hit. The latter one will crit.
Damn, the latter one's not the Darksaber.
No, the latter one is the dagger. So, yeah, so you shoot the dagger out of your mouth with your tongue, and it goes straight into his eye, which he then very angrily starts swatting at until you stab him through the chest with the Darksaber. He is also dead. So you successfully, 3 of them are asleep, the other 2
I'm just going to start coup de grace all of them.
All right, you slice all their heads off. They are all dead. They can't do anything to stop you, really. So now you are left with the wagon that is filled with 3 humans and a gnome. They begin reaching out to you, although they also do look somewhat fearful considering that they don't know if you're friendly or not.
I'm going to toss the officer head that I have to Syra. And I'm going to tell Syra to search the officer's body. I'm going to go to the carriage.
She puts her hand inside the head and uses it as a puppet. Okay, boss.
Okay, you do that. You turn it into the world's most morbid sock puppet.
So I'm gonna go to there. I'm gonna tell the you all need to stand back. I am going to do this, and I'm gonna just pick the lock.
Okay, roll for picking the lock. Damn. You pop that thing off in a second, and the door pops right open. They all then proceed to file out. So, like I said, you have the random 3 humans, and you also have the gnome, which you presume to be Scrappy's brother.
I am looking for one that is akin to Scrappy.
That's my brother.
And what is your name?
My name's Happy.
Alright, everyone follow me. If you want, I will talk to the necromancer to see if you are allowed to ride on the centipede.
No.
Everyone back in the carriage. We're going to take the carriage.
Okay, but it smells in there. We had to use the corner as a bathroom.
Is there any animals hooked up to the carriage?
There is a desert lizard that is hooked up to the carriage.
Alright, I'm gonna go up to it, handle animal.
Okay, roll for it. Damn, okay. You are able to communicate with the lizard that you would like it to continue to pull the wagon, however, you are going to be the one that's calling the shots on where it's supposed to go.
I'm gonna go back to Syra. Have you found anything?
That's an excellent question. Mostly, I mean, I'll tell you he was circumcised. Was that interesting?
Did you want to search the body?
Yes.
Okay, so you search the body, so 25. So what you do is you search his body. You find that he has 10 gold on him. There's an an ornate officer's dagger, which may be worth some money, and a scroll.
I toss the money, shit, and the dagger towards Curtis, and then I pick up the scroll and open it up.
So you open up the scroll and read it. It is written in common. The scroll basically dictates. It's a message from another Dragonborn general. This one is named Genbu. And he is basically instructing this group of Dragonborn to deliver him all of the smiths from the local area so that they can then use them to craft more powerful gear. So he's basically sending them out to grab the most skilled craftsmen that they can find.
I think we'll keep this and present it to our gnome friend so that we can strong-arm him into staying with us. Agreed?
His brother is also still right there. I can roll a listen check.
Absolutely, go ahead, but I can just command word him if I have to.
Alright, I'm going to say that's low enough where it's not going to matter. He's not the brightest individual. Even though he may hear bits and pieces, he doesn't get the whole conversation. You have commanded the lizard to follow you wherever you want to go, and you can choose what you want to do now.
What was in that bag with the ornate dagger?
10 gold and an ornate dagger, which you can appraise if you would like.
Alright, we shall head out to the city.
The fort.
I want to, as we're going, I'm going to cast Commune, where a deity answers me one yes or no question, and I am going to directly ask you, I have a spell that is called Planar Ally, which works in the way that a lesser Planar Ally works, which is that a creature from one of those realms will come forward and do a job for you, an elemental or outsider from that particular realm.
Okay.
And she wants to get started on the whole lich thing, because the Planar Ally requires a sacrifice. She is asking if she has enough now to sacrifice for those secrets to send to him, if she could send that entire skeleton army, the camel, the fucking 60 zombies, and whatever else I happen to have laying at the camp.
Okay, so you want a yes or no on whether or not you have enough sacrifices in order to begin this ritual.
My immediate next thing would be calling Planar Ally to take somebody from the realm of undeath to bring them here to share the secrets, but Planar Ally requires a price to be paid. She wants to know if she has that price available.
You close your eyes and you concentrate very hard as you perform the ritual for commune, and the god answers back in you in one voice. Yes.
Syra just grins ear to ear and just keeps on riding the camel.
You guys are able to get back to Fort Deathwing after about a day of riding, and you return Happy to Scrappy. Scrappy comes out of his shop, and Happy runs out of the wagon, and the two brothers embrace, and they're very happy to see each other. The other smiths agree to kind of grab their stuff and help you guys out if you need it, because they kind of owe you one at this point. Scrappy also comes back and asks what you would like in exchange, because you have brought him his brother back.
I present him the letter, and essentially I'm trying to, I would argue, diplomacy for this, because I'm trying to convince them to come with us because we'll protect them. I want them to come and work in our camp. That we already have a forge set up, we can have a tinker shop, we can put all kinds of shit together, anything you need, but you should definitely come with us instead of stay here.
Okay, so roll your diplomacy check.
No, I'm gonna go in with him to assist with that diplomacy check.
Okay. Kane, are you also going to assist for shits and giggles?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Shit.
Alright, Jam, you don't assist very much.
Oh,
Ooh, Arch, that's a solid one.
there you
Alright,
go.
There you go. So you actually give a decent amount of help. So, Kane, you and Arch are able to convince Scrappy by saying that you will protect him and his brother, that him and Happy both agree to take their shop and move it to your camp since you already have a forge. They said that the other three smiths are going to stay in the village because people still need their help in order to make certain things. But him and his brother are more than capable of doing any kind of mechanical things that you may require. They also double as magical smiths if you need them to do so.
Fantastic. And I am definitely going to be studying with these two assholes anytime we're on off